Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another episode. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at how can you survive? How can my business survive in a crisis? Get my words out. We'll be looking at that answer for today's video. Because had I not made some changes in my business, I'm not sure I'd be here right now, or looking to come out the other side of the pandemic we're currently finding ourselves in. So morning, guys, I'm Rob Cox, and welcome back to, as I said, another episode of Business Over Breakfast, where we look at the ups and downs of running a video production company, as well as sharing tips and advice if you are looking to create your own video content for YouTube or social media, or your social media platforms. I've got my notes here. As I said yesterday, yesterday's episode, if you saw, so the last 7 days, I've been sort of winging it a little bit. Going forward, we're putting some notes into place so I can be a bit more structured with the videos I give you guys. Got a coffee to hand, which is great. So let's crack on. So, I set up my business to be my own boss, which is, I think, a lot of people, you have your own reasons why you decide you want to set up your own business. I set my business up because, I wanted to be my own boss. It was little things like, choose my own hours, which I work a lot more hours now than I ever did working for anyone else. But also make my own decisions, hopefully be successful, and ultimately have something I could be proud of. But there's no doubt it's hard work. I work harder now than I've ever worked in any job. So I think if you're, I think people can be under the illusion they're going to be their own boss and they're going to sort of sit on that beach and work from the beach on their laptop, which might happen for some, but certainly it takes a lot of work to create a successful business. But as a business owner, I guess you say entrepreneur, whatever you want to call yourself, ultimately, you need to be able to adapt when a crisis happens. And that could be anything, that could be you're running a coffee shop and the machine breaks down. You need to be the one that doesn't panic and is able just to sort that situation out, because that's your job. You're in charge of, that's your business. You're in charge of it, and you need to be able to just get on with it and resolve the situation. The same with, filming. We've probably all come across situations where something happens. Yesterday, a light goes down. Now, I could have panicked, or I just let you guys know a light's gone down and I'll go and sort it out and I'll be back. Now, okay, does that look pretty on screen that I disappear out of shot? No, but it's better not to panic and go, oh my God, let me shut the live stream down. I'm going to panic. And that's the best way to deal with it, because it isn't. You just got to get on with it. Quickly stick another battery on. Probably should have them on mains, but I don't. Stick another battery on and then you crack on. So, as a business owner, it's about adapting to situations when a crisis arises. And COVID-19 has certainly, it's certainly forcing the majority of us to adapt our businesses. There's no doubt about that. Before the outbreak, my primary services were event filming. And that's where we did the bulk of our business. So that was, going in, and it could be filming an event highlights reel, filming talks, interviews. We did photography. We really sort of covered the full ground when it came to capturing content at events. Whereas, and live streaming, but the live streaming element was something I outsourced, actually. So we never did this in-house. The other thing I tended to do a lot of was social media content. I worked for, I white labeled for agencies, or I still white label for agencies. I talk like it's all over, but I white label for agencies. So I used to fly out to Europe and do case study videos and promotional videos. So all of that was going on, or has been going on over the last 12 months. And of course, when the coronavirus hit, it affected everything. All filming stopped, all events stopped, everything was cancelled. I literally went from having a full calendar to nothing overnight. And, the only way to get through that was, or is, to adapt how I'm working, adapt the business in order to come out the other side and be able to offer, my customers, clients, something they're actually going to want. And this is happening across the board. If we look at shops or coffee houses, banks, small businesses, everyone's having to find ways to adapt. our local coffee house, which is called the Coffee Place, they opened up this week. They've been closed since the pandemic broke, and what they've done is bring the whole counter service right to the front door. You open the front door, you've just got enough room to sort of step in, whole counter service there, screen's gone up, they're offering cakes, they're offering coffee to take away, and that's sort of how the service is now operating. Now, why do you go to a coffee house? Well, part of it is, okay, yes, some of us, we do like to take away coffees, no doubt about that. But part of it is the experience. You like to go in, you like to get yourself on a table, get all comfy. Sometimes you're sitting there doing a bit of work. It's the experience of being in the coffee house. So, I did ask them about it, and, business is, of course, not going to be as big as it was before, because they've had to change things, and not everyone wants to just take away a coffee. A lot of people went there to sit in and have a sort of an experience and meet up with friends or have a business meeting, whatever it was, and that they can't do that at the moment. So they've had to sort of change, as well as their customers not being able to do it. They've then had to go, okay, well, the only way we can, that's not possible, but we need to start opening up our business. So we're going to have to adapt it, and we're going to have to offer to the takeaway market right now. And they're seeing that trickle. They're seeing that trickle coming in. And, I've been in a few times this week grabbing takeaway coffees to bring into the office. So that business is there. Now, of course, what do they want to do next? They'll be looking to get some tables outside. That'll be the next phase. And hopefully down the line, people will be back in and can sit inside. But if they didn't adapt, they're not going to survive. And it's been the same with, even though things like supermarkets have been really busy, they've all had to they've all had to adapt their businesses. Screens have gone up. You've seen the way that they have all their lines on the floor, and you've got to have one-way systems, and keep your 2-meter distance from people. Everyone's having to find ways to adapt their businesses. And I mentioned yesterday, I've had to make investments during the coronavirus, and now a lot of people or a lot of businesses will be reining in the money, which is what we're all doing. Now, I don't know about the rest of the world, but certainly in the UK, we've had some great government help. The government's been really good with businesses to help us get through this crisis. But that doesn't mean you can just rely on that alone. Just because you get a grant or a business loan or whatever it is you've got, that's not going to be enough to see you through the crisis. You need to be able to adapt your business so that you can start working with your clients again. And for me, in the midst of all the craziness and the turmoil, I was able to obviously get some government support, but I have made the decision that I need to actually make some changes to what we do as a business, and that meant a little bit of investment in order to benefit myself on the other side. So I touched on this briefly yesterday, but obviously I wasn't doing live streaming like this before the pandemic. So when we did live events, we didn't really, live stream was sort of an add-on service. So when we did need it, I would hire in people that I knew did that. And, I'd either have, then hire a LiveView solar unit, and I'd bring that with me, or I'd have them just come in and deal with that side of things. However, ultimately, we're in a situation right now where live events, we have no idea when live events will return to the way that they were, i.e., big, exhibition size events, or even some of the small, even 100 people in a room. I don't know when we'll see that again. And so we've had to look at, okay, what will we likely see? Well, the likelihood is, and this is the other thing, is you've got to forward think. You've got to think about what you think is going to happen, or how things are going to happen going forward. So for me, it's been a case of saying, okay, well, I think hybrid events are going to become the new normal. That's going to be small physical plus the virtual side, the virtual ticket. That's going to be one element. But also completely live stream virtual events. That's going to be another side of things. And then what other things will we be using live streaming for? Well, actually just the idea of a company, we used to go in and film like quarterly reviews and stuff. So a company would gather everyone into, say, the canteen area, or certainly a large space in their building. Well, again, that's not going to really be possible for some time to come. So even things like that, where we can have the CEO, in a separate space, live streamed, and you can just all stay at your desks and watch this review. That's going to become something that people will have to do. Training videos, consultancy, whatever it might be. I think live streaming, certainly within the video market, is going to play a big role in that. And that's why I made the decision in the midst of all of this to say, right, well then we need to invest in that. We need that to become a big part of the business. And then, of course, what I'm doing right now is, making sure I'm really up to scratch with that. I worked in live television for 6 years. That's my background. I'm probably covering my full background in a later video, but I worked in live television for 6 years, and I was a TV producer. But of course, I had everyone else doing the roles. I had someone on vision, we had someone on graphics, we had someone on, legal, so checking the colours actually going out were legal. You had people on sound, you had your cameras, you had floor runners. It was a big setup, and my job was just to produce the show. And whilst you gauge an element, an understanding of all aspects, I never had to learn everything. So now I'm having to come in and go, well, I need to learn everything about a vision mixer. I need to learn everything about understanding multicam and understanding how to rig up multicam and understanding how to get the multi views and understanding dropping in graphics, dropping in videos, using the live view solo. I mean, there's so many elements. Plus, obviously, I'm getting in front of the camera. But the reason I'm then spending 30 days doing that is because I want to become really good at it, and I want to become put myself in a position where I can safely say to clients, I know exactly what you need and I know how to deliver it. And if you need proof, check out my YouTube channel where I've delivered, over a month's worth of live streams. So that's how I'm changing things. That's how I'm adapting things. And I think that's important when you, when you're running your own business, that you one of the things you have to be willing to do, and sort of, I guess it comes with the territory, is you have to be able to deal with situations when they arise. When you are in a crisis, you have to be able to make those changes, adapt your business model. And I think one of the interesting things is this isn't necessarily the direction I originally planned for my business. I've got ideas for what I want to do and things I want to do within the business, and I can tell you right now, I hadn't added live streaming to that model. That wasn't part of it. That's the reason I never added it to it at the founding stage when I founded the business. At the beginning of 2019, I did not envision live streaming to be a particularly big part of it. However, things change. And that's the point, isn't it? Is you can either go, well, no, I don't want that part of my business. I don't want my business going down that road. I don't want my business going down that direction. You can do that, but that might be a harder path to follow. Or you can say, okay, well, if that means I have a business and it survives this current crisis, then that's what I'm going to be doing. That's the direction I'm going to take for now. And actually, in my case, I don't mind that. If that means that I can open up a new avenue, a new revenue stream within live streaming, and it also means that I can continue the other sides of the business I wanted to do and the sort of things that were in my original business model, that's great. I don't mind that. That's absolutely fine. And actually, since I've been doing this, since I've set this up, I found it really interesting, and I'm really excited for it. And it's got that buzz back and reminding me why I went into live television in the first place, because it's been a few years since I worked in live TV. But I remember why, it's starting to make me realize why I enjoyed it, because it's that sort of that live element that is just in the moment. So, I think you have to, you definitely have to change, ultimately you have to look at what the market needs, and you have to be willing to change for that. So if you've been affected, ultimately you want to get the doors open, you want to restart the business. Look in your sector, look in your industry, look at, ultimately, sometimes you've got to look at what everyone else is doing and make those decisions to pivot, to change, to adapt, because That's how you're getting out of this. And like I said, in our industry right now, I think live streaming is one element. I think we've talked about this in a previous video, but I think it's just the way you actually adapt your camera kit. So if you're a one-man band camera operator, look at the way you're adapting your camera kit. So you are ready to go out filming. I think your customers, your clients are going to want to know that you have all the PPE, that you've thought about how you're going to keep that social distancing. All those things are in place. I don't think they want you turning up and you've not thought about any of that. So it's even on a, just as a one-man band or as going out with a camera, that's making those changes. If you haven't seen that, go and check out a video I did called The New Normal, and we cover a bit, cover those sort of sides of things in terms of actually what we might need to go off and start doing this, to doing our job. But listen, if you've adapted your business, if you've made these changes, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. What have you done to get yourself in a position where you are going to be ready to take this on, where you're going to be ready to see your business flourish when lockdown is fully over? And I think that's the key, isn't it? Ultimately, we want our businesses to succeed. No one wants to get to the end of lockdown. Maybe you've had the government help, etc., and then just go, well, that's it. Doors are shutting. That's not why we got into this in the first place. That's not why we became business owners or entrepreneurs. We did it because we want to be successful. So you want to get to the end of this lockdown and you want to be ready to just go, yes, I'm ready to go for this. So let me know what you guys are doing to prepare for that, to get yourself ready for what's ahead. What changes have you made? How have you adapted your business? Is it, are you a shop and you've simply just had to get the screens up? You've had to put those yellow lines on the floor. You've had to create the one-way system. Is that how you've had to adapt your business? Is that enough? Has that worked? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. But remember, like I said, I hope you know that ultimately that we are, like I said, that we are doing this for a reason, and that's because we want to survive. We want to survive this crisis. We want our businesses to flourish. So, let's all adapt. If you need to, but let's all adapt to make sure that happens. I hope you found that useful, guys. This is the first time I've been using notes. I'm very much having to drop my head down and check out the notes, but I'm going to get better at this. I promise. I'm getting better. Remember, we're going out every day live throughout June. We're doing 30 videos in 30 days. Started on the 1st of June, so this is now day 8, and we're going live right up till the end of June. Like I said, talked about it in there. It's a learning curve. I'm hoping by the end of it, I've learned a lot more about everything I'm doing here, but also presenting. Because going forward, obviously, I want to be creating more content on this channel in different ways. Certainly not every day, because that in itself is a big challenge. But I just thought this would be a good way to start that off. So remember, if you want to check out the other videos we will be making, you can do that. We are going to be. Excuse me, I don't know what I've done there on the computer. We are going to be putting out content about all sorts of things, whether that's the kit that we use, to how we're running the business, to sharing tips and advice for you guys. So do make sure you check that out. And as that popped up just now, you can subscribe below and hit the notification bell so that you know when we're actually going up with new videos. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. I've got a busy day ahead. I've got an edit to finish for Good Morning Yatton, which is a little show we're creating for the local school. So I'm going to be working on that today or this morning. What is it now? 20 past 7. So I've got to get that done and out by about 10 a.m. So that's my morning plans. Let me know what you guys are up to this morning. At the start of the week, it's a Monday. It actually feels like it feels like a good week. It's a strange one today because, of course, school's going back. Certainly in the UK, so there's a few years going back in the school, so it'll be interesting to see how the roads and everything are. But anyway, I digress. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the start of your week, and I look forward to seeing you all here tomorrow.